Hey YouTube, Windraiser here, coming to you with another Transformers review. And today we're going to be looking at Transformers Legacy, Transformers Prime, Bulkhead. Um, so many things to say about this figure. First of all, first of first of all, this version of Bulkhead is just like the Legacy Prime RC is a take on Generations, a Generations take on Bulkhead. If he were in the G1 continuity kind of thing, that's how people are describing it. That's how it is on TF Wiki kind of thing. But with Transformers Prime, when that show came out, I never really had Bulkhead. I had some of the other figures. Granted, they've all been sold off, and they're now in new homes with a new generation of Transformers fans who love them. But Bulkhead, I never had the figure. I can never find him. Even the first edition, could never find it. Couldn't find the one that came out that had the spring-loaded weapon thing. I couldn't find that. And I could never find the Beast Hunters Bulkhead, which was a deluxe class that had spikes all over him, but painted to look like Generation G1 Brawn. So there was that, but it was cool. But let's go ahead and take a look at Bulkhead over here. Do have a nice head sculpt, nice bucket head. Do love that chin. Very nice. Got some silver here, some black, some I guess you would call it energon blue for the headlights, some blue clear plastic. Got some silver on the thighs and kneecaps. Overall, very nice. Review the back of them. These serve purpose later. So does his backpack. Very cool. Posability for Bulkhead here, as you can see, his head is on a ball joint. It can go about that far because of how this is cut out for his chin, both ways. So if you have his head up, he goes that far. If you put his chin down, he can go that far. So we'll go ahead and move these out of the way. Arms are on. You can do a full 360. There is a hinge for in and out. Mine's are a little tight, so it's good. Bicep swivel. Over 90-degree bend at the elbow. He does have waist articulation. Legs can move forward that far. If you lift this out the way, do not disengage transformation. His legs, we'll go ahead and take that off. His legs can move back that far. We'll come back to this in a minute. Has over 90-degree bend at the knee. There is some toe articulation as well as the heels. And he does have a bit of ankle tiltage. So you can get him doing that. He can't do the Ironhide split, so it's a bit of a downside. There you have Bulkhead. Now to go back to his accessories, like we just took this off, this becomes equivalent in his vehicle mode. But if you flip it around, pull this peg out, push this peg out this way, it becomes a nice riot shield. So go ahead, peg that into his shoulder, or to his forearm. He also comes with his wrecking ball hand. Now, according to TF Wiki, it says it's covered in 5mm ports. No. The only ports you can peg stuff in is the top and bottom and the one in the middle. That's it. He can hold this, like so. So go ahead and open it. And we'll just place it over his fist like so. Close it up. And then he comes with a new weapon. This clear Energon blue minigun that's painted in certain areas to be gray. Like I said with clear plastic, I'm worried about the longevity of these things because they're going to crack. But it does peg onto them. There's these little posts on either side of the gun. There's a port on either side of his wheels here on the back. And you can peg it on either side. I have to peg it over here. Now he's got a shoulder-mounted minigun. So there you have like a riot bulkhead. So to go to his size comparison of him in robot mode, here he is. If I can back him up a bit. Here he is next to Six Gun and Slammer. And Slammer is having trouble standing right now. Sorry about the finger. Here he is next to one of my two of my favorite scout class guys. Here he is next to Sea Spray and Cloud Raker. I almost forgot his name. Here he is next to Kickback. RC I have, but she's in her vehicle mode right now, so I'll leave her for vehicle comparison. And here he is next to two Siege figures, Blue Streak and Deep Cover. This is my second Deep Cover. So go ahead and get him into his transformation. Go ahead and take his gun off. Take off his wrecking ball. And we'll take this. Most of it will sit off to the side. You can transform him with this attached to his back, which is attached by this peg and that hole. I mean, you can do it, but it's going to be fiddlesome. So we're going to go ahead and do it. So to start, what I like to do is fold up his feet. Get them out the way for right now. Gonna come under. We're going to take this off for right now because it's going to be very fiddlesome to get it going. So lift this up. I'm going to come to the arms, make sure they're nice and straight. Unpeg them from his entire chest. And then once you do that, this will disconnect from here via this clear plastic. So I want to mind you, his entire chest canopy is clear plastic. So I don't know the hold of time on his chest. This piece may break over time. So once you do that, you're going to unpeg this black piece here. And you're going to have all of this looking like this. Because you want this to go all the way up. I think, yeah. And have it pegged like that. Or, no, it wants to go here. This the way this is, like, I have the instructions, I just don't know where I put them. Right, if I remember correctly, something like this, I think. We'll get to it when we get to it. So leave the top section be for right now. So go ahead, come in here and bring up these oil canisters. Go ahead and fold this out. Open up. Fold in. And I never mentioned much molding detail, but these have molding detail inside. This is pretty cool. Sadly, they didn't do the inside of his legs. Alright, I know his legs have to be like this, in a way. So, like I said, we'll get to it when we get to it. So, do his whole head assembly. I'm going to bring his head in. I'm going to take this piece, fold it up, and it's going to fill in this part right here. And we're going to swing his arms down. come all the way together. And we'll peg into each other like so. And that way you can push them up into the canopy. And there's the front of the vehicle mode. Bring these wheels down, flip them out like so. And this locks all of this into place. Alright, so we'll swing this up, swing this up. Uno momento. I did want to figure one more step. This whole section is pegged in. You want to unhook that. Oh, I'm so dumb sometimes. Sorry about that. Alright, so next we're going to, once you unpeg all that, I have one of the legs already done. You're going to bring the legs in like so, and there is a slot right here that a slot on the gas can is going to peg into like so. Once you do that, go ahead and bring the legs together. Make sure that slot is pegged on both sides. You're going to bring this all around like so, just like that. Swing this up at this hinge right here, and then these will peg in to little slots here on the sides that were the shoulder pad area. Ooh. All right. Once you've got that all pegged in, the legs should peg together nicely. Excuse me. Just had to fix them. You're going to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and take the weapons. Now the cannon here will peg right back here. The wrecking ball peg right there. Once you've done that, you can then take this part and go ahead and peg that back onto there, like so. Bring these up, and then we'll fold these down, and they will peg into the legs. And everything should fall into place nicely and stay pegged together. Sometimes some of the parts just don't reach and just don't want to fall into place. But there you have him in his vehicle mode. And he is the only vehicle that has complete hidden storage for his weapons, which I find to be very cool. Everything from vehicle mode, front of the chest is still the same. It's very nicely done. I do love the details. Like, I love how the canopy here has all the slits cut out. Sorry, I meant to say slots. Cut out the compression details where it sits. Very nice. There's the top. There's the bottom. Not much rubber kibble. Like I said, getting certain areas when it comes to the legs and hips is a pain in the butt to get into place. Size comparison. Here he is next to RC. Here he is next to Skids. And here he is next to a couple of my favorites. Here he is next to my Combiner Wars Cyclonus. And he's going to be the only Cyclonus I'll have until I can get the Generations version. Here he is next to Animated Wreckgar. You can see how They're about the same size. Here he is next to Thrilling 30 Starscream. And for another rando size comparison, here he is next to uh, Studio Series Movie 86 Slag. Which I think is a good size comparison in front of a dino. But yeah, um, he's a good figure. The only sad thing is about Legacy Bulkhead is he's becoming a shelf warmer. Um, just like Prime RC, he's becoming a shelf warmer. Just like I've noticed with some of the other Legacy figures with the Beast Wars legacies, namely Nightprowler, Buzzsaw, and Sandstorm. They're becoming shelf warmers. Like, so I've seen a lot of them where the boxes are damaged. I've seen a lot of them where people have been pushing the heads down so no one can pop the head off, which is very good. Whoever's doing that, kudos. Um, but yeah, he's warming shelves. If you want to pick up a Bulkhead and you never got the TF Prime version, pick this one up. It's a good interpretation of that character, but in a generation style. So there's my review for Transformers Legacy TF Prime Bulkhead. I'm Windraiser, and I'll see y'all on the next review.